So I remember we had balconies, and nobody else had balconies at that time. We had some of the balconies had walls to stay in, and other of the balconies you could just walk open across the top of it. It's always very different. Friends like that. That was always something very different that people could do, was walk on the balconies and the ledges on the house.
One of the main things I remember is whenever we go out to the pool, he would always come out to the pool with his trumpet, and the music would be on. And then he'd be playing his trumpet along with the music, and then he would always pull the trumpet away and he'd start going boo 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 boo.
I always enjoyed the family movie nights back in the playroom. I know we would grumble, oh, we got to sit there and watch family movies, home movies, but it was very special, and especially because we took a lot of trips during the summers when we would be with Daddy, and he, was an avid photographer, filming and taking slides.
I think what I remember most is the construction of it. I witnessed it going together from the ground up. First of all, it was not a wood frame house, whereas most other houses were. It didn't have a pitched roof. It had flat roofs. It was all concrete and rebar and steel or aluminum studs. And there was nothing like it in the neighborhood, that was for sure. So you knew something special was happening.
There's not another one like it, literally. It was a house built for research purposes, and so it's a concept house. It's a prototype, so to speak, of something that was probably never built.
And so, not knowing it at the time, but it was designed to be different. And it was designed, specifically designed for certain things to have never been done before.
It supposedly doesn't have any wood in it. So the steel and the concrete construction to the metal cabinets, the aluminum doors, is pretty fascinating.
I don't know, there's a lot of parts about it that are typical of the 50s, but much about it that are very futuristic. Like the things I just saw in the kitchen, for instance, the blender built into I still can't understand how that worked. So there's a lot about it. Now the jalousie windows out here are very typical of the 50s, and I love them.
But even from the lighting fixtures in the bathrooms to the concealed double door toothbrush holder that I've never seen anything like that before, to jam switches in the closets that turn the lights on automatically. We do that today, but I didn't know it was something that was, that you could get back then in '57.
Martin told me explicitly that he wanted these kind of cabinets because they're absolutely, utterly mouse-proof.
Now, what, mouse-proof?
Mouse-proof, yes sir. Yeah, that's right.
The original house, as far as my dad is concerned, that Mr. Mayrath bought was on Cinderella in what they call the Disney streets. And that was a Better Homes and Gardens idea home. So it had a special grand opening, and I've got pictures of old 50s cars. And then Mr. Mayrath must have seen the house, purchased that, and then later commissioned my dad to build this big house, the big house.
It was designed by an architect, so it does have a lot of logic to it. It's mostly single room depth throughout the whole house with lots of jalousied glass, so there was lots of airflow to keep it cool when air conditioning was still kind of a new and up and coming thing.
Well, living there was a very unique experience. It was obviously so different from, all of our other friends, and I was proud of it. It was you know, something that not very many people experienced at that time, living in a house of that architecture and that size.
All the first floor vents on the ground were all escape hatches into the bomb shelter, or as some people call it, the dungeon. But we used to go down and we'd take sandwiches down there and we just kind of do a camp out down on the.
So we had the microwave, and it was kind of new and unique. Nobody ever seen a microwave before, and it was, you would put an egg in it and it would explode, and you'd show that to your friends, as that was a demo that you would do. And my favorite was to take bread and butter on it and then put cinnamon and sugar on it and microwave this little cinnamon toast that would be a very soggy, buttery kind of thing. And my older brother Howard one time was home from school, and I made him one of those, and he got sick as a dog from it. So I don't.
Whenever we went swimming, we had to have Howie come lifeguard. So if Howie was able to come lifeguard, I was a happy camper. That made my day.
Well, I was in on everything they were doing. You know, I was the leader of the people paid money to come. Yeah, I used to imagine things and build things. And here, see, this is my idea, to put the feet of the table. They are in the cement. And that was my idea also.
I've had several people come into the house with me, some builders and some architects and some engineers, and all of them have just marveled at the way that it was actually put together, because it's built out of steel beams, like a parking garage is. I would love to say I don't think it's ever going anywhere, but. I don't know if a bulldozer could knock this house over. And a bulldozer is typically what they use when they're demolishing houses, old houses especially, because that's all it really takes. However, this one may actually take a wrecking ball, which only is necessary for commercial buildings usually.
I think it's a shame, of course. It's the reality in this day and age. The right buyer's not going to come along, apparently. We take a very unique person.
It'll be a shame because of the way it was built. You know, it wasn't just your normal, ordinary home.
Oh, it's very saddening. I kind of have known that this may happen one day. I've driven by and videoed the exterior of the home just for my own self in case something happened to it. So it is sad.
If this thing is going to be destroyed, I think it's a shame. I mean, I think it's still, structurally, it's perfectly sound. Why would you have to destroy this? I mean, it's like, I think about 5,000 square feet, and that's perfectly ample for a very large family. It may not be what people want. So what can I say? It's a family house, and it would be a shame if it were destroyed.